Hello and welcome to Judy's Creations in Crochet. Today is January 27th, 2022. I particularly would like to welcome new subscribers this week. I appreciate every single one of my subscribers, but it looks like I picked up a dozen or more new subscribers just in the last 4 or 5 days, and we're really happy to have to welcome you to the channel, and I hope you enjoy what you see. Today we're going to have a bunch of odds and ends. I'll be changing hope a few times. So before I start with what I'm wearing, I want to tell you something that I forgot to mention last week, and I want to make sure that you all know about this. You know how I have shown you yarn from little Bishes Stitches in Germany a couple of times. She has very nice hand-dyed yarn, and she also occasionally watches my channel. So hi, Catherine, if you're watching. And she reached out to me and said she wanted to offer a special discount to my viewers. And I said, well, I don't have a lot of viewers, but I would be glad to have this discount for them, and hopefully I'll have more viewers as time goes by. So there is a special code that you will find in the description box down below this video, and there are 2 ways you can use it, and this is a code that's good for always, to my knowledge. There is a link you can press that takes you onto her site, and automatically, I guess it's a link from my channel, and it will give you the code. But if not, that doesn't work properly, I hope I got the link proper down there. But if not, there is a special code. I think it's JDY Create, if I recall correctly. But you'll see it down there. It says, or use this code. And I understand that code gives you 15% off of any purchases you make from her. And it's worth checking her out, even if you've never used hand-dyed before and just want to know what it's like. Go and look and see what she has to offer, and maybe only order 1 or 2 hanks and put in that code, and her shipping is very reasonable. At least it was to Canada. I'm going to assume it would be about the same to the US. And of course, for those of you in Europe, I'm sure it's much cheaper than it was to me. So I want to remind you that that code is there. And I will be sure to put the codes and the link in the description box of every one of my videos. It will always be there for you to use. And I think that was a really nice offer of Catherine, and I thank you for that. And I hope some of you take advantage of the code. If you don't, she might just decide to discontinue it. So let's support her and get a discount at the same time. All right, so that's what I forgot last week. Now, what I am wearing. This is just a scarf that is done in open lattice, you know, chain 5 or whatever, and single crochet back and forth, back and forth. The yarn, really, really nice. This is mulberry silk, and I happened to pick this up when a friend and I went to what was called a fleece something. I guess it's just a fleece show. It's held, I guess, annually. I didn't know about it until I went 2 years ago. And it's held in Woodstock, Ontario. We have a Woodstock also. For my fellow Ontarians, you would know where Woodstock is. And out in the country, in some big barns, they had alpacas and llamas and lots of local or somewhat local yarn dyers and spinners and other things. And I bought this. It's a 100% mulberry silk, and it's in the jewel tones, as you can imagine. I love the colors. And I don't remember who was selling it, but obviously he was probably from Ontario. And works up very nice, very pretty. I enjoy the mulberry silk. Is so nice feeling, and I find it's the silk added to a lot of other yarns. So that's what I'm wearing. No particular pattern, just a very, very long scarf. Now, what Hope is wearing. This is a Ruana, and hopefully you can see the pattern. And this is a pattern that I got from another Canadian YouTuber called Blue Eyed Style. And she does a tutorial on this. And it's made with a full back. And then the front two sides are made separately. And then joined up here at the neck. Now I just did a regular seam, but I did make another one that you saw in the fall where I used Lion Brand's Mandala Tweed, and then I put a big button here at the side. You would see that in one of my videos or on my Facebook page if you go and check. And that one I joined at the top in the specific way she said. And the reason it's done in 3 pieces is because it has a bit of a fan going up, and she wanted it to go up on in both the back and the front. So she had a very special tutorial at the end of her tutorial showing you how to join the 2 at the top to keep it the same. I just did a plain old seam and another seam at the sides. This time I did seam at the other one. I just put a button. And I have a friend who liked this pattern so well. She got the idea to do this pattern, but she didn't make it quite as wide. She made it a little bit narrower. And then she joined it, and she put sleeves in it. And she actually used shawl in a ball, or shawl in a cake, whichever one, but probably shawl in the ball, with the metallic in it. And it's a finer material than this. This is an ice yarn. I don't remember what it was, and I've lost the band to it. But she made it in shawl in the ball, made it a little bit narrower, put some sleeves in it to make it into a kimono that she wears around the house, maybe over her pajamas in the house. And it turned out gorgeous, and I never would have thought to use shawl in the ball, and I was thinking of all heavier types of yarn to use in it. So that's just an idea of how you can take a pattern and adapt it. Now I just want to talk about Ruanas for a couple minutes. Like I said, this was made with a large piece on the back. There's the back, large piece on the back, and then 2 half the size actually on the front, and then put together at the shoulders. But some people will make one long piece and then another long piece and join it in a center seam down the back. I'm making another Ruana. For once, I'm going to show you a work in progress. I'm making a Ruana where yarn still attached. I made the front 2 pieces. Then I joined them. I put a chain between them and joined them at the neck. So it's still all one piece, and it won't have a shoulder seam. This is on crooked, but you get the idea. And now I'm working across the back. Doesn't stay on real well when it's in pieces. But now I'm working across the back in one big piece. So when I'm all done, it'll be all together in one piece. no seams required if I leave it open at the sides, which I very well may do. I might put a button on it like the other one. I think, though, I might just leave it open to hang, which a lot of them do. And I won't have to worry about any seams. So this is going to be fairly large when I get finished. I made the fronts maybe bigger than I needed to, but it's a very loose weave. It's made mostly with V's, the V stitch, and then regular double crochets. I'll show it to you when it gets done. I'm hoping that's one of the ones I get finished in the next few weeks. It's been on the back burner. I started it in the fall, and then I got sidetracked with other things. But I will get back to it very soon as I want to finish it. Then I'll tell you about the yarn. I'll show you the pattern in more depth. I just wanted to show you another way to make a Ruana. And I've also seen it where they make the entire back, and then they split it the neck, and they just do back and forth on one side for one front and back and forth on the other side for the other front. And again, no seams required if you want to leave the sides open. So that's 2 or 3 ways that you can make a Ruana. Actually, it's 4 ways, I think. So, moving on, another odds and ends that I wanted to show you. While I'm showing you works in progress, I thought I'd show you one other work in progress that I've been working on a little bit here and there this month. I made this sweater last winter. I made 2 sweaters. First time I had ever made sweaters. The first one was the purple sparkle one that you saw in the fall, and I'll probably wear it again soon. The other one was this one that is made from the neck down. You make it in the circle, and then you get to a point where you mark where you want the sleeves, and you stop going all the way around, and you join the front to the back, and then you keep going around to finish it. And then if it's not summer, it's got enough sleeve for summer, but if it's winter like this one is, you go back and you go in the round around the armholes. And again, the only real seam you have is where you connect every time you come around at the back. And I discovered a couple things. First of all, it does show. Not too bad. But what I found was it was going way off on an angle. And I learned that you won't get that funny angled seam if every time you go around, you turn it and go the opposite way. I don't know if it makes a lot of difference, but I'm going to find out. But the reason I took this apart, I made this, I wore it, but I found 2 things. First of all, I had set the armhole too low, so it really looked strange. I mean, I could wear it, but it was strange. The other thing was it said to chain a certain number here under the armhole to complete the body, and I'm thinking, well, usually these things don't fit, so I put a few extra chains in both sides. I think I put 4 extra chains in both sides, and the thing was too big. So overall, I just didn't look like how it looked on me. So I decided to take it out, and I took it out up to this point here and marked the sleeves where they were up a couple of rows. Then when I joined the chains at the side, I took out those extra chains. And I think it's going to be plenty big enough without. And I am now, as I go around, doing the back and forth, back and forth. I don't think it's making the seam any better than it was, but that's what it said to do. And honestly, I really don't like the seam look you get when you're slip stitching to join. Doesn't show in a poncho because it's in a corner, but it definitely shows in a sweater. So I'm going to have to find a pattern where it, it's more off to the side or something. Anyhow, I'm working on this, and again, this is another one of the things I want to get done in the next month. So these two items that I'm now calling a work in progress, I took them from time out. I'm going to finish in the next month, as well as the next project I'm going to start on soon. I'm still working on, remember I told you that I was asked to test a shawl pattern for a magazine. Well, I got close to the end of it last week, and as I was getting near the end, I realized I was going to be about, I think the border took 8 rows, and I ran out. My cake wasn't going to go far enough, and I had a 1,200 meter cake, which is what she said to use. But I followed the instructions with the cake and used a 3.5 or 4 millimeter hook, and she said use 2.25. Well, there's no way I'm going to use 2.25. But there was not enough yarn, and there was nothing I could add to it that would look right. So I started the thing all over again. And this time I got a Hobie twister. Hobie twisters have plain twisters that you can get to add to the beginning and end. They have set up the colors that match the various twisters. And I got one of those, and I got a color at the beginning and color at the end to add to the whole thing. And I'm using a 3.0 millimeter hook this time. So I'm going to have plenty of yarn, and it is about finished as you're seeing this video. It's not quite finished today, but by the time I upload this video, it will be done. Thank you. I will have made it twice. It's a big one, and I'm going to move on to something that I want to work on, and it won't be those 2 whips. I'm going to do something else I enjoy first, and then I'll do those 2 whips. So one other thing to show you as a finished object, and I made this about a year ago. Reggie had a crochet along. It was to make a vest. So I tried, this is a pattern I'd always been interested in making, so I thought I would give it a try. And it is a vest. Of course, with no arms, it'll be hard to see the whole of this. But here it is. Here's the vest. See how it hangs down here. And it's made out of a granny squares. And in fact, it's actually a granny square shawl. A granny square shawl where you interrupt it with some chains to make the holes for the arms, and it becomes a vest. And I have seen a couple of these online. Some of them do beautiful mandalas, the circular mandalas. They remind me of dream catchers, and they leave holes for the arms in them, and then they have this beautiful mandala down here, and it makes a vest. Some of them do them long enough to make like a dress almost out of it. Now this, I just followed a very easy pattern. It was by Fiber Spider. This is just, I think it's a mandala cake. Color changing, self-striping. I didn't do anything special with the yarn. And I used Fiber Spider's tutorial to get where to put the armholes. And there you have a vest. But you could take any shawl that you really like the pattern of, and just figure out how far down you have to go, and then chain. See, it's just, the shawl is interrupted with a chain space. Do these chains, And then you just keep doing the pattern the rest of the way for as big as you want. And I know on Ravelry they have quite a few of them because I have seen them and thought of doing one of the mandalas at some point in the future. But I'm not a vest wearer, so I don't know if I will make one anytime soon. But some of them are absolutely beautiful. So you might want to check it out as something a little bit different to make. Or if you have children in your life, I've seen quite a few of these in child sizes. I have no children in my life. So anything I make has to be adult size. And the children in my life are like 18 to 29. They aren't really into this kind of thing. So they don't want too much crocheted at this point in their life. So I don't worry about making them things. They all have a cocoon. They love the cocoons, and that's it. So that's the finished objects or works in progress that I have to show this week. Now for the other portion of my show, I promised to show some more hand-dyed yarns. And I will continue to show hand-dyed yarns for a while because I went through my stash and I pulled out a number of different hand-dyed yarns that I have. So I have quite a few companies to show you. And this being January, you know, January is sale month. So I went into Etsy and a few other places and I've ordered yarn. So I have more yarn coming. Today, though, I thought for the Canadian, I'm going to do one Canadian and one non-Canadian. And I thought I would do something just a little bit different. This time, I thought I would show a gradient cake. There are people online that make these gradient cakes. I know you can buy them in Hobie. Hobie has a number of these. Yarn Art carries some. There are other companies, and I think maybe late spring or early summer, I might do one episode completely about gradient cakes. Tell you how they are made, show you what happens with gradient cakes, and there are differences, and maybe compare some companies because I have I have made projects with a number of different gradient cakes. So this is the one I want to show you today. This is from a company called Panda Yarns. And what's cute about it is the end of every one, to help you find the beginning, the center, they put a little panda charm on it. It may be loose on one of the others, and I can show you. I don't know. But anyway, there's a panda charm, which links to the center pull, which I've pulled out a little bit of on this cake. And Panda Yarns is in Alberta. I believe, I read it a couple days ago, I believe she said she's moved from one place to another, but she says she is near Calgary. So for Canadians, you know where Calgary is. Even Americans might recognize Calgary. We had the Olympics there one year, and it's at the base of the Rocky Mountains, the eastern side of the Rocky Mountains. And a lot of skiing goes on in that area. So this is one gradient cake. I have some others. And what I like about them, this one is called Brighter Days Reverse. And that's because every color she offers it one direction and she offers it in the other. So obviously she must have originally done it with green in the center and working out to purple. And I wanted, if I wear it, I want purple next to my face on the on the item I'm making and work out to green. So she does the same thing in reverse. This happens to be, she says it's fingering. It's 4-ply, meaning there are four strands of yarn. They are not twisted or plied together. They are separate. Some of you may find that a little difficult to work with. I do get my hook caught up in it at times. And this one happens to be, all of hers, I believe, are 100% cotton. So if you like working with cotton. And this particular one is 500 yards. She starts at 500. You have an option. 500 yards, 800 yards, 1,000. I'm not sure if you go to 1,200 next or 1,500, 1,800, and 2,000. So she has several sizes to choose from, and she has a choice between 4-ply and 5-ply. I always choose the 4-ply. In fact, if I had the option, I'd pick 3-ply. And this is called Brighter Days, the reverse of Brighter Days. So that's one I got there. I think she does these herself, so it takes a bit of time to get them. There's your Panda again. And this time, oh, okay, sometimes she didn't have that in the selections I looked at the other day, but she must have had a special category, maybe some that were already made. 675 yards, this one is. And it's called Tread Lightly Reverse. It's sort of, you know, the Christmas colors. Green and red or burgundy, and it actually goes into, it might call that purple. So that's a 3-color one. I saw this one, I think, made into something brown and black. I'm thinking might make a poncho. This one has 525 yards. I bought these a while back, and it's 5-ply. So it might be something that she had in a sale bin, because I wouldn't normally order 525 yards or 5-ply. And this is called Sport Weight. Well, it's probably Sport Weight because it has 5-ply. The 4-ply is called fingering. See, it is wider when you've got 5-ply. So I must have got those two on sale. Again, the 100% cotton, and that's browns and blacks. And the last one I got here, again, I would have ordered myself, 500 yards. Again, it's the reverse, Reckless Love, purples, pinky purple, different purple than this one, out to black. So, and she has the option on her site to choose the colors you want to make up the gradient cake with. She has, I don't know, I'm going to say 30 or 40 colors. She shows you the colors on a spool, and you can select the colors you want and make it the way you want. And I noticed now, they didn't have it before, but I noticed now that they also have a shimmer thread you can put with it. And next time I make an order, which won't be real soon, I have enough for right now, I'm going to order one with a shimmer in it. And they have choice of colors. Doesn't have to be silver or gold. She has, I don't know, 8 or 10 choices of shimmer colors to put with them. So, the next hand-dyed yarn I want to show you is from a company called Martin's Lab. And I would have swore this was a U.S. company, and then I went online to look them up again before I showed you the yarn that I got, and it turns out that this company is in Poland, Martin's Lab in Poland. So I'm going to show you the colors I got. I have no problems working with this company or with Panda. One thing I want to tell you about Panda. Canada and the U.S., that's probably why I ordered 4 at the time. If you spend $100, you get free shipping. So ordering 4 of these probably put me over the 100, so I got free shipping. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at companies. Ta-da! It's a different me. Let me explain what happened. The video that you were watching until just a second ago had a real mess up at the end, and I knew I was going to have to do some cutting and editing to fix it, and I wasn't looking forward to that. And then I received something in the mail yesterday that I was waiting for quite a while and very excited to receive. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to cut the whole end off of that other video so we won't see a second hand dyer today. Instead, I wanted to show you what I received in the mail. I was really excited to get these, and I've seen them once or twice on other YouTube channels, and I thought you might enjoy to see them. So today, we're going to finish the video. We're going to talk about hooks. And I received a box in the mail yesterday that came all the way from the Ukraine. They were mailed something like December the 10th. I ordered it before that. I think they have to be custom made. I'm not sure. And so they were mailed December the 10th, and I just got them this week. So that was over 6 weeks, 6.5 weeks to get here, but they're coming quite a distance, and you know what the mail is like these days. But inside the box, I had these 4 things. And very tightly wrapped, and from the minute I saw these, I knew that a lot of care had gone into packaging my products, and probably as much care into making the items. This right away showed me the quality of this company. Now, these are wrapped about 4 times in styrofoam wrapping padding, and each package is 100% covered in tape, so there's no way that this is going to get open. So I just cut the tops off of the 4 items, and I'll start with this one. And you open it up, and this is the first thing you see. There's the back, there's the front. Isn't that beautiful? A lot of care has gone into seeing that I get my hooks safely and beautifully packaged. And when you open this up, there's a little tag in here that says handmade by Letto. Letto Workshop is the name of the company I ordered these hooks from. Now, first of all, I want to explain that I need hooks that are fairly substantial. I have a couple of the old style here, but I've given them mostly away. This is a 4.5. This would be lost in my hand. This is a 6.5. It's a little bit better, but still far too small for me. I decided a while back that I need to spend money on quality hooks because I crochet a big part of the day, a lot of hours every day. So to this point, my preferred hook has been the furls. I like the body of the hook. It's substantial, but it is nice and slim up here, and I love the hook itself, and it has a bit of a point at the top, which makes it easy to get into stitches, and I like the throat of it. And I use those metal ones that are more rounded and have less of a neck. And I just don't care for them the same. So I have quite a collection of furls. I absolutely love the streamline ones. You can tell this would be one of my favorites. It's blue. Very, very lightweight And it comes in every size from 4 up to 10. So I always like to see other hooks, and I was really impressed with what I saw online about these hooks. So this one is a bigger one. See the beautiful embroidery work there. And then this is thick felt. It's a thick felt. And here is the hook. Now this is a 4.5. This is a 5. That's the one thing that you can see different is it is a teeny bit longer, but that's at the bottom end. The barrel to the head of it is about the same. And in fact, this barrel is a teeny bit bigger, which doesn't bother me. A little bigger in my hand is good. So then my hand doesn't cramp as much when I'm holding it. Now, I hold in a pencil grip, and that also makes it harder to find a hook that works for me, and I'll explain that in a minute. But I want to show you the other 3 that I got, because I want to show you, I wanted to see the different colors. Now I couldn't get every color, of course, but I got a variety of colors. So here's the next one. Again, in this beautiful holder. And this one is a light wood. Now this one is size 5. So there's 4.5 and 5. They have the nice throat that I like, and they have the point on the tip. 4.5 and 5. I know I have a 4 in here, and then I have an unusual size. Wait till you see that. So I think this is the 4. Yeah, there's a 4. 4, 4.5, and 5. And finally, the last one. And I don't think I've ever seen a hook this size. This is, I'm pretty sure, yes, it's engraved in the bottom to tell you the size. And this one is a 7.5. I had to get it because I thought I'll never see that size anywhere again. So there are the 4 of them. You can see they are all different colors. And I'm going to put a picture in right here and show you the other colors they come in. They come in a variety of colors, and I'm showing you the same style that I have here, all of the colors, and you can pick from size 4 millimeter up to size 10 millimeter in those colors. Now, I want to talk about why I got these. These, by the way, are no more expensive than the Streamline swirls. I think $1 difference. So not a problem price-wise for this style, okay? Now, he makes a lot of other styles, and I'll put that picture in right here. This shows you the variety of woods and some of the different contours that he makes. I call them contours or profiles. They aren't all smooth. They all have ridges in them. And I'll explain why I didn't get any of them, although I saw some I really liked. I have, from a different company, the ones with all the grooves in them. First of all, I don't care for the hook in them. But these are perfect if you are a knife grip person. Your fingers fall in the grooves, okay? Your fingers fall in the grooves when there's lots of grooves. Knife grip. I'm not a knife grip, and I have tried to change just because of all these beautiful hooks, and I can't. I am a pencil grip person. So when you have it gripped like this, all of those grooves, to me, they get in the way. They are a problem. So I wanted to show you. I'd take a minute. First, I have my furls that I stitch with, and I just wanted to show you, if I can get it in the camera. See, here is my hook, and these are just double crochets. Of course, when you're sewing for somebody else, everything is awkward. So this is how I would hold it and how I would crochet. So the barrel sits between my thumb and index finger, and it fits there very comfortably. And then I can move my finger up the shaft. So let me try it with number 5. I think the creamy colored one is number 5. This is number 5, which is what I'm using here. So let's see how this stitches. Of course, it isn't going to cooperate. Yes, it slides very nice. The length is the same as my furls. This rests comfortably here, not giving me any problems. Like I said, it looks to me to be just a teeny bit bigger than the furls, but that's not a problem. It's working beautifully. I'll finish that later. So these are extremely smooth. A lot of care has been taken to make this a very, very smooth barrel. I call it a barrel. And the length from here to there is the same. It has a little more length in the bottom, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't affect my stitching. And I really do like the points. See those points at the top for getting in the stitch? And I really like the throat. And as I said, he makes other styles with lots and lots of grooves. I showed you the picture, and they are all beautiful. And he makes other things too. Here's another picture. It shows a number of his hooks in the stands. He makes many stands, different configurations of stands. And he makes these other hooks that were really beautiful. Instead of being plain, say, mahogany or ebony or teak, I don't know what woods I got. He also has one that has colored wood in the middle. And I read it. It is wood. And he must stain it in such a way to give him the beautiful colors. Here's one of the ones I liked. It's blue, of course. So I'll show you this. Absolutely beautiful hook. It's a hook I would love to add to my collection, but the problem is it has all that busy contour. It has lots and lots of grooves. I didn't really see any that were sort of this style. Even if it had something fancy at the back would be okay, as long as it were smooth in here where I rest it between my fingers. That's where I really don't find this comfortable. Sometimes it hits one groove, sometimes it hits the other groove. I have stitched with these a couple of times, but they don't last long. I get rid of them. So I really wanted to show you these hooks because I really think they're beautiful. And he and his wife work together on this. I assume he does the wood and she does this part. And they have a shop on Etsy, and I will put a link down below because I think some of you might really, really like to try some of these beautiful hooks. I am very happy with my purchase. So I just had to show you how gorgeous they are, and I'm going to start, actually I'm going to finish this whip starting tomorrow, and I will be using this hook to finish it. Thank you very much for these beautiful hooks and the gorgeous job you did, Stan and Julie. Okay, finally, to finish off the video, I think I've gone a little too long, but I really want to show you those beautiful hooks. And the last thing you've all been waiting for, breathless, who is the winner of the book? I had a draw for this book this past week, and I drew, and here is the winner. I managed to figure out YouTube random comment picker. And Carol, I'm not going to try the last name. Carol, you are the winner. Congratulations, Carol. From reading your comment, I can tell that you would make use of a book like this. So, Carol, you have to get in touch with me. Email me. My email is in the description box below, judyscreations21@gmail.com. Email me as soon as you see this, and I need your mailing address so that I can get it to you. So congratulations once again, Carol. And thanks to all of you who did leave comments and participated in this little draw. So next week I will do the yarn that I cut out from this week and maybe add in a little more yarn. And of course I will have finished objects to show you again. So hopefully you'll be back next week. And until then, happy hooking.